Singapore is a tiny island but with a powerful economy. One of the Asian economic powerhouse that is situated in the busiest airways and maritime route in the world. Singapore with land area of just 733 square kilometers is in 176th position in the land area of countries but commands a GDP of around $700 billion, which is more than GDP of much larger countries such as Sweden, Israel, Denmark, and more. Now, this shows the scale of development of a tiny nation, and this country has one of the highest per capita income in the world. Singapore growth story is nothing short of a miracle. With no natural resources to command, it has turned itself from a fishing hamlet to an Asian tiger in just over 3 decades. One person who is instrumental in this transformation is Kuan Yew, a man with a mission to transform the country. He implemented many structural reforms in economic policies which propelled Singapore economy and converted itself into a service destination for the world. Lee focused on long-term sustainable growth and avoided any short-term gains. This resulted in years of low inflation, low unemployment, and high productivity without compromising sustainability for a tiny country. So what is next? What is the plan for next decades where there are many challenges? Let's explore. When Lee was heading Singapore, it was a fairly populated country. However, now Singapore population is close to 6 million and has one of the highest population density in the world with 716 people per square kilometer. This is coupled with depletion of resources, land areas, water conflict with neighboring Malaysia, pollution from neighboring countries, and more. Singapore has formulated a 2030 plan to make it sustainable for future generation. The plan involves blending of technology, green cover, land reclamation, facilities expansion, education, and more. Meticulous planning allows land scarce Singapore to optimize its resources and meet the needs of current and future generation. The authorities take a long-term approach to formulate Singapore land use and aim to strike a balance between social, economic, and environment consideration of urban development in the plan. In 2030 plan, there is a great emphasis on green cover, which is very important to mitigate pollution that is emanating from countries such as Indonesian islands due to forest fire or other man-made activities. Singapore, though having a very limited land area, has dedicated major portion of the land for green cover to meet the carbon neutral targets. In the meantime, not compromising on developments. Number 2. Plan to expand Singapore cargo handling capacity in both seas and air. Singapore Airport is one of the busiest airports in the world in terms of handling both goods and passengers. It is also one of the largest in terms of transit handling. Now, Singapore has set an ambitious target of almost doubling the capacity. This includes Changi Aviation Park with the development of Changi East Industrial Zone. A new terminal will be opened. Already Singapore Airport handles close to 70 million passengers annually. This new terminal would add another 50 million and making it the busiest airport in the world when completed. After expansion to handle air traffic, the next focus for Singapore to expand the maritime traffic handling to establish Singapore as the best and the largest maritime port in the world. Remember, Singapore is in the ideal location in the busiest route. The project, Tuas Mega Port. Singapore is currently building a mega port in Tuas, which is said to be the world's largest fully automated terminal when completed in 2040. The new port will be able to handle up to 65 million 20-foot equivalent unit of cargo a year, more than double of current capacity of Singapore. This is one biggest long-term sustainable project which will position Singapore for next 100 years. Next to the land, the Singapore land expansion. Singapore is one among the handful of countries in the world which has successfully completed land reclamation project in surrounding areas. Singapore has increased its land mass by a whopping 22% since independence and further plan to expand it by 7 to 8% as part of 2030 plan. It has created two waterfront districts on planned reclamation area. If this project is successful, then Singapore will jump 3 position in rank of the largest country to 173 by beating Bahrain, Dominica and Tonga. The next target for Singapore is education and technology. Building digital districts across the country for technology revolution will house key industries of the digital economy such as cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, digital transformation and more. This is to harness the human resource within the country and train its citizens for next decades. In addition to all these projects, There are many multi-million dollar infrastructure projects that will transform Singapore and prepare it for next 100 years. Even if Lee Kuan Yew is not there, the descendants of Singapore truly have visions like him to look into the future and prepare the country for long-term sustainable development, which other countries need to learn. Thank you.